Firstly, billions of years ago, little is known about the engineers' history, but they are shown to be the creators of the human race and later the creators of the xenomorphs. They visited Earth during its primordial state, where one sacrificial engineer ingests an unknown liquid, causing his entire body structure to dissolve and sealing the planet with his DNA, thus hastening the speed of evolution. 35,000 BC, engineers visited Earth and the primitive humans in Ireland, imparting wisdom and warning against visiting the Zeti Reticuli system in the future, and for thousands of years they would do the same to many primitive cultures across the world. The 1st century AD, in this time, the engineers took up residence in LV-223, one of the 3 moons of the gas giant planet called Calpumus. A research facility was built there, dedicated to the study and weaponization of chemical AO3959X.91-15, with the end desire being to unleash the pathogen on the human race. Between the 1st and 2nd century AD, a Juggernaut-type starship containing Xenomorph X crash lands on LV-426, another moon of Calpumus. The engineer piloting the vessel died from the chest burster, and before succumbing to death, it sent out a transmission meant to ward off people away from the moon and its dangerous cargo. Fast forwarding to the year 2023, Peter Weyland gives a TED conference talking about the Titan Prometheus and stealing off their fire from the gods, and ending with claiming that humans are gods now, and that the mission was to achieve new heights with the power humanity now possesses. The year 2079, David, the 8th generation android, is created, although it is also stated that the particular one serving on the Prometheus was commissioned in the year 2090. It might be that the prototypes were made in this year. 2089, Elizabeth Shaw and Charlie Holloway discovers a star map to LV-223 by examining the cave paintings and recordings of different ancient cultures across the planet Earth, which are unrelated and isolated. 2091, the USS Prometheus is built and operated by Weyland Corporation, captained by Idris Janik. It is commissioned and launched for a mission to LV-223. The ship measures 130 meters or 427 feet long and is powered by 4 nuclear ion plasma engines. January 7, 2092, Ellen Ripley is born at the Olympia colony on Luna, a place that was established and governed by the United Americas. Ellen Ripley is gonna be the central figure of the original Alien movies and a story revolving xenomorphs in that time period. 2092, the events of Alien Earth, whereby the story is set on Earth 30 years before the events of the original Alien film. Thus, it takes place 70 years in the future. The series will explore the origins of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation and the corporate race to create a new android life. Late December 2093, the USS Prometheus reaches the destination of LV-223, and the events of Prometheus unfolds whereby the mission team discovers the black goo and the fate of the engineers. January 1st, 2094, the USS Prometheus crashes onto the engineer Juggernaut and is destroyed. Shaw and David escapes using another Juggernaut after avoiding and trapping the vengeful engineer. It is revealed that the same engineer was impregnated by the trilobite and soon discovers that a Deacon variant of the xenomorphs is born from his body. Mid-2094, David and Shaw reaches the planet of the engineers called Paradise, and the android releases the black goo pathogen on the unsuspecting population, killing them off and also the fauna of the entire planet. Between 2094 and 2103, David experiments on the black goo pathogen, experimenting and killing Elizabeth Shaw as well, and creating the first of the ovomorphs. In these years, many hybrids were created and killed, with his chief aim of recreating a biomechanical perfection that is the xenomorph. 2103, the Covenant mission is the most ambitious endeavor in the history of Weyland-Yutani. This ship, bound for Auriga 6, carrying 2,000 colonists, is launched amidst the chaos and a group of people dedicated to stop the mission at all costs. December 5th, 2104, the USCSS Covenant is hit by a neutrino burst, damaging the ship, waking up the crew who detects the transmission of Elizabeth Shaw from Planet 4 and goes there to investigate. The events of Alien Covenant takes place in the last week of December of this same year. Between 2104 and 2110, the events of the cancelled Alien Awakening storyline takes place, whereby surviving members of the engineer race rush to intercept David for his genocide on their homeworld. The story would follow the Covenant being turned back to LV-223, theoretically, and a story ending in LV-426, which is located in the same Zeta Reticuli system, around the same planet, but on a different moon. Between 2120 and 2130, Jackson Star mining colony is established, situated on a ring planet located 65 light-years from Earth. Jackson Stars maintain a population of 2,781 inhabitants. The planet was shrouded by dark clouds and smog, with no sunlight reaching the surface. The year 2122, events of the first Alien movie. The crew of the commercial spaceship Nostromo responds to a distress signal from a desolate moon of a planet called LV-426. They explore and encounter the xenomorph, in the end unwittingly bringing a deadly specimen on board, which begins killing them one by one. Ellen Ripley, the sole survivor, ultimately ejects the creature into space. Early 2142. In this year, 20 years after the events of the Alien movie, an echo probe enters the floating wreckage of the Nostromo and picks up a large organic object. It is eventually brought to the Renaissance, a research facility containing two modules, Remus and Romulus. Here the scientists open it with lasers to reveal a cocoon inside which there is a curled-up alien, a xenomorph, having survived being ejected into space and entering dormancy. This is the same xenomorph that Ripley ejected into space. Late 2142. Events of the movie Alien Romulus takes place, whereby a group of miners aim to collect enough credits to travel away from the Jackson Star mining facility, decided to break in and salvage technology from a station that was about to crash into the rings of that planet. The station is none other than the Renaissance, and the people there fight for their lives against the xenomorphs who have created a hive on that station. The year 2152. The Florina Fury 161 Class C Work Correctional Unit, referred to as CMAX, is established. It was built, owned and operated by the Weyland Corporation as a commercial mining venture. The installation's primary purpose was to act as a penal labor camp to operate the adjacent industrial leadworks. The year 2157. Hadley's Hope is built and established on LV-426 for terraforming, research and mining. The settlement was co-financed by the Extrasolar Colonization Administration and the Weyland Corporation, and by 2179 it has maintained a constant population of 158 colonists. The year 2175. The Class C Work Correctional Unit, the CMAX, on Florina Fury 161 was closed down, and most personnel are moved off-site. After these were closed down, they were kept operational by only a small inmate crew, a skeleton crew, who chose to stay behind. 2179. Events of Aliens. Here, Ellen Ripley is found decades later and returns to the alien-infested LV-426 with a group of Marines, now a colony called Hadley's Hope. They discover the colony has been overrun by xenomorphs, and after intense battles, Ripley and a few survivors escape, destroying the terraforming facility with a nuclear explosion. The same year 2179. Events of Alien 3. After crash landing on a prison planet called Florina Fury 161, Ripley discovers that a xenomorph had followed her. With no weapons to defend themselves, the inmates and Ripley fight to survive, and Ripley eventually sacrifices herself to destroy the creature and prevent the birth of a new queen. The year 2369. The USM Auriga was built and commissioned. It was a 12,000 feet long spacecraft and maintained a constant crew of over 42 enlisted soldiers under the command of General Martin Perez. The ship also housed a 7-person science team led by Dr. Mason Wren. Finally, the year 2381. Alien Resurrection. Set 200 years after Ripley's death, scientists clone her to extract the xenomorph queen inside of her. In the ship called the Auriga, the aliens escape captivity, causing chaos on the station. Ripley, now with alien DNA inside of her, teams up with a group of mercenaries to stop the creatures and prevent them from reaching Earth, along with a deadly new hybrid called the Newborn. And so with that, we come to the end of the timeline of the Alien Cinematic Timeline, just the movies. Now, if you like this video, then watch this other one too, and do check out our channel for other dragon, monster and xenomorph content. We might have things we haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.